bringing you a rep challenge today. Basically what this is, it's just high number of reps. We're going to be doing 5 different exercises, 100 reps for each exercise, okay? So there's no interval timer involved. If you want to time yourself for the workout, see how long it takes you to finish, you can do that, all right? So, first exercise is going to be high knees. We did this one earlier in the week, so it should be somewhat familiar to you guys. If you're just starting out, we're going to be marching in place, okay? So you're going to start with your feet about hip-width apart, and you're just going to lift your knees up and march in place, okay? Try and get your knees up as high as you can. If you can get them up to your chest, that's great. That's your goal, okay? If you want to add a little bit of impact to that, you're going to do more of a jogging in place type of thing, okay? So if you're just getting into this, you're going to jog in place, okay? And for those of you who want to make it more difficult, you're going to add the high knees. So you're going to try and get your knees up as high as you can, okay? Now, it's up to you. If you want to count every single one up to 100, you can do that. I generally tend to find that it's easier if I just count one leg, especially if I'm trying to go fast, and I just count to 50. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I go up to 50. If you want to do 100 per leg, then you would do it that way, count one side, but count up to 100. Okay, so it's your choice, whatever you want to do. If you plan on repeating this workout at some point to see if you can get a faster time, just make a note of how you counted. So that way, the second time you do it, you count the same way. All right? So that's your first exercise, high knees. So you're going to do 100 of those. Next exercise is going to be mountain climbers, which is basically high knees on the ground. Okay? So for those of you guys just starting out, you're going to start in the plank position. Okay? You're going to lift your knee up and then bring it back down, and you're just going to alternate. Okay? Again, you can count any way you want. Just make sure that you count the same way each time. All right? So you're going to bring the knee up, touch with the foot, and just alternate. Okay? As you become more comfortable with that and stronger, you're not going to touch your foot to the ground. Okay? You're just going to bring it up. All right? And then finally, most advanced version is you're going to bring your knee up as high as you can, and you're going to move a little faster. All right? So it's going to look like this. And that's your mountain climbers. Okay? So 100 of those. Third exercise is going to be squats. So for those of you guys just starting out, remember you can use an assist. So I don't have a chair, so I'm just going to use my equalizer here. And actually, that's a little too tall. So we'll use the ball instead. Okay? So I'm going to use the ball as my target. I can get it to stop moving. All right? I'm going to stand with my back to the ball, hands out in front. Feet are about hip-width apart. The weight is on the heels of my feet. Okay? I'm going to sit my hips back, come down, touch, and then squeeze my glutes to stand back up. Okay? So if you're just starting out, this is how you're going to do your squats. Okay? For those of you who want to make it a little bit more difficult, you're not going to use an assist. Okay? You're going to do the same motion, squat down as far as you can go, and then drive the hips up. Okay? The more that you can squat down, the more difficult it becomes. Okay? So 100 squats. exercise is going to be plank jacks. So we're going to be on the ground again for this one. So, for those of you guys just starting out, you're going to do just planking, okay? So you can, what you can do for this one is just try and hold it for as long as you can, all right? If you want to time yourself, and then that way each time you do this, you can try and hold it for a little bit longer each time. That's probably a good way to keep track on this one, all right? So, for planking, easiest way to do it is on the hands. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Feet are about hip-width apart, and you're just going to hold this position. Body line is nice and straight. My hips aren't sagging or popping up. Okay, nice straight line. Next level is on your elbows. So, elbows are underneath the shoulders. Hands are not touching, okay? Nice straight body line. And you're just going to hold for as long as you can, okay? So on this one, as soon as you put your knees down, go ahead and move on to the next exercise, all right? For those of you guys who want to do plank jacks, the easier version is on your hands. So you're going to be, hands are going to be underneath your shoulders again. Start with your feet together. You're going to hop both feet out, okay? And then hop back in. Those are your plank jacks. Okay? Actually, a modification for this, if you're just starting out and you want to try it, is moving one leg at a time. So bring one leg out, back in, out, back in. Okay? So that's the easiest form. More intermediate is both at the same time. And then the most difficult is on your elbows. Okay? So, elbows underneath the shoulders, feet together to start, hop in and out. Okay? Those are your plank jacks. Finally, last exercise is going to be low jacks. All right? So, for those of you just starting out, we're going to take the impact out of the exercise, and you're just going to do a step, kind of like what I showed you for the plank jacks, okay? So feet are going to start about hip-width apart. You're going to step one leg out, and then bring it back to the middle. Step out, back to the middle. Again, I don't care how you count on these. Just make sure that you're counting the same way each time, okay? Next level up is you're going to actually hop both feet out at the same time, okay? So, you actually go ahead and start standing upright. So this is the more intermediate level, okay? And you're just going to do basically half of a jumping jack, okay? And finally, the more advanced version, you're going to start with your feet about hip-width apart. You're going to squat down slightly. Now, you're going to stay in this low position to do your low jacks. Okay? And obviously for that, the lower you are, the more difficult it is, and the faster you do it, the more difficult it is. Okay? So that's your last exercise. So again, you're going to be doing 100 reps for each of those. 100 high knees, 100 mountain climbers, 100 squats, 100 plank jacks, and then 100 low jacks. So time yourself if you want to do that, and then that way if you ever come back to this workout and do it again, you can see if you're improving or not. All right? So good luck.